Hi, this is Stacy with Lily Bean Crafts by Stacy. Welcome to day 10 of my 12 days of Christmas. So I've been wanting to recreate one of the tumblers that I made for my fall series. I loved this Hey Pumpkin tumbler so much that I wanted to make one in a holiday theme. So I took off the 16-ounce STEMI tumbler that I got from the Stainless Depot, and I went ahead and I cleaned it and prepped it, spray painted it, the skinny dip color from Color Shot spray paints, let it dry, and now I'm going in with my glitter glue, and I'm going to go ahead and get full coverage and I'm going to make it a little bit thick because I am using a chunky mix for the glitter portion of it. Going in with this new glitter that just came out from Rae Creations. It's called Miracle, and it is an absolutely gorgeous champagne mix of opalescent, different sizes, everything like that. It's a gorgeous color. I'm just going to go ahead and completely cover the tumbler with this chunky mix, making sure that I have it covered everywhere. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the glitter glue and put it onto the handle and make sure I have that covered completely. And then I'm going to be going and glittering the handle with the fine cut version of another champagne color. This one is from Peachy Olive Glitters, and it is called Goddess, and it just matches this colors really, really well. So I'm going to make sure I get that fully covered with it. Because Goddess is a great champagne color, I'm also going to just take it and sprinkle it all over the tumbler. Since this is a fine cut version going over a chunky version, there might be a couple of little open spaces, and this is just ensuring that the tumbler is completely covered. I'm just going to take it and roll it in my parchment paper and make sure that all of the glitters are flattened down, just to make it a little bit easier for me when I get to the epoxy portion. And I'm going to go ahead and let that dry for 4 hours, put another coat of the glitter glue on, let that dry for another 3 to 4 hours, and now I'm going in with my first coat of epoxy. This is 20 ml of my Flynn Sisters Fast Set epoxy. I'm going to get this covered completely, let it spin for 3 hours, and then I'm going to immediately go in with another 10 ml of my Fast Set epoxy. Let that spin for 4 hours, and then it will be ready to start working on the Crackle portion. I'm using Crackle Medium that I got from Amazon, which I'll link in the description. And I'm taking this small little chip brush that I got from Home Depot or somewhere of that nature, and I am going to make this look distressed. So I'm not trying to make sure that this is perfectly coated on here. I just want to make sure that it's going straight up and down, because when I actually put the paint on there, I don't want the crackle to be going in different directions. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I got most of it covered. And I also decided for the first time to crackle the handle. I've never done that before, and I just wanted to see how it would turn out. So I put a little bit of the Crackle Medium on there and also on the bottom, and then I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side, let it sit for like an hour. And now I'm going and just taking a little bit of my white acrylic paint. I think it's Folk Art that I got from Walmart, and I'm taking a larger chip brush this time, making sure that I have full coverage, and I'm just bringing it up and down. I'm coating it up one way and then down the other way, not going crazy with going over it on the same spot over and over again. I'm swiping up, swiping down, and then moving on to the next section. Once again, I am going for a distressed look for this one, so I'm not trying to make it perfect. And now I'm going to go show you how I'm doing the handle. I just very, very lightly spread the acrylic paint on there, taking my time and just getting it as good as I could. And then I'm just going to go ahead and set it off to the side and let it completely dry. I think it took maybe 30 to 50 minutes for it to completely dry. And then there's a couple of spots where I didn't get the Crackle Medium really well. So I'm just going in and distressing those parts myself. I just don't want it to look like a swipe of paint on there. So I'm distressing just a little bit of it. It's only around the handle, which doesn't surprise me since handles are generally a challenge. So I just do a little bit of distressing, and then we will be going and putting another coat of epoxy on. I did put a little bit of the 91% rubbing alcohol on my paper towel. That's how I got the distressed look, and that's how I got just a little bit to come off. Once that was completely dry and it was ready to go, I am going in with another 10 mLs of my fast set epoxy. I will let this spin for 4 hours and then move on to the vinyl portion. So I got this beautiful element sheet from Gracefully Created. I knew right away that I wanted to make something with that snowman. It is just so elegant. I love the way that it looked. The poinsettias went really well with it. So that is what I'm using for any of the like vinyl elements on this tumbler. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim it up as closely as possible to the snowman, and then I'll just go ahead and very gently attach that to the tumbler. Try not to get any fingerprints where you could see through the vinyl, and I just set it down, and then I rubbed out the middle first, and then I just spread it out as I went along, making sure that I had it completely covered. It does have a taper to this tumbler, so I didn't want to bring it too low on there. And now I'm just going to go ahead and start playing around with where I want the poinsettias to be. I kind of had a hard decision making up my mind where I wanted them to be, and I don't know, I just kept removing them and moving them around. Now at this point in time, I tried doing something different on the bottom. I was trying to do something with alcohol inks, and it did not work for me, and it stained the tumbler itself, and I did not want to let this tumbler go. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover up my mistake with some gold foils, and I just took some of my foil glue that I got from Bell Glitters, and I just put it on there and waited till it dried to the point where it was tacky, and then I just took my gold foil flakes and just put a little bit on at a time, getting it spread. I didn't want it perfectly straight along the top, because once again, when you're going for a distressed look, you don't want anything to be perfect. So I just had it so that it was uneven, and I just applied this all the way around the tumbler. This goes to show that when you try something new and it doesn't work out, don't just give up and let it be wasted. Try something different, and you might be able to find something to work to make it still look really beautiful. Once I had all of this on, I did take my tumbler outside and I spray painted it with my Rust-Oleum Gloss Clear Spray Paint. I just wanted to make sure that I sealed this in so that the gold flakes wouldn't be flaking off once I go in for my next coat of epoxy. And it still did a little bit, but that's okay. But here I am going in with another 10 mLs of my fast set epoxy. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for 4 hours. I'm going to sand it down really good. I needed to do a lot of sanding where the foil was. It just had a little bit of ridges in it, and that's totally okay. So I sanded it down really good with my 220 grit sanding paper, and then I went in with another 10 mLs of my Flynn Sisters medium viscosity Artist Cure resin and let it spin for 8 to 10 hours, and then it was all done. And this turned out so pretty, similar to the fall one that I made, but still completely unique and different. I love how it turned out. This just goes to show you that even if you make a mistake, just keep moving and trying. And this was day 10 of my Christmas series. And if you like this tutorial, hit that like and subscribe button. Bye-bye.